Hello, audience, and welcome back to Choco Talk-o, the Chocolate Cake Podcast. Today we're going to be interviewing GyRoEsEhNi.
Hello.
Now, GyRoEsEhNi, you're a very famous artist. What originally got you into drawing?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm famous, but simply put, I was always just interested in various types of media, including video games and to a lesser extent, like illustrated books and stuff like that. And also cartoons. That's probably my biggest influence given my style.
Yeah, so I figure for our first conversation topic, I'll go with the first picture you sent me of all the pink rabbits.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the idea to specifically pink rabbits to focus on here?
So, one thing you'll probably quickly learn about me is I mostly just draw what I want to. Like,
Yeah.
if I get an idea in my head of, just something I want to see, I'll put it down on paper. And this idea was just like, I don't know, I like pink rabbits, and I found out there's quite a few in popular media, so I just sort of put them all together.
There's actually, I only recognize a couple of them. There's the one from, what's that show? Gumball, The Amazing World of Gumball. And then there's the Duracell bunny, right?
Yeah, that's the one on the far top left.
Oh, I thought that was the one with the drum.
That is the Energizer bunny.
Oh wait, there's two different bunny mascots for batteries?
Yeah, Duracell actually had the bunny first, but Energizer got in on it, I think to sort of partially mock them. But then Energizer just became a lot more famous for the whole pink bunny mascot thing. It's pretty silly.
So there's one that looks like they're cosplaying as Link from The Legend of Zelda. What's that from?
So, I think it's Link to the Past. If you go to the Dark World without the Moon Pearl, Link just turns into a pink bunny. That's like canon in the game.
That's awesome. And now the one to the left is a heckin' chonker. What's that from?
You mean to the right?
Maybe. We might be looking at it from different angles.
Well, I think the one you're talking about is the one next to Link.
Yeah, right next to Link.
In Wreck-It Ralph 2, there's one scene with
oh my god, I remember what you're talking about. Where they kept feeding him, like, cupcakes or something?
Oh, yeah.
Oh wait, pancakes, that was it.
Oh yeah, pancakes. Whoops.
Alright, let's go through the whole roster. I want to learn what all of these characters are.
Alright, so I'll say 4 of them aren't from popular media. It's more just like me and my friends sort of creations.
Yeah.
But most of them are from like various things. But yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so next up, there's the one with the very long ears and the kind of slim build and blue gloves.
So, that's another funny one. That's actually a Sonic Forces character. Like, that game has a character creator, and that's just who I played as in the game.
Oh, so it's OC.
Well, sorta.
Alright, and next up is the very thick bunny right in the middle.
Oh yeah, so that one is an actual OC. Like, I mean, it's not really an OC per se, but like, sometimes I just portray myself as certain things, and that bunny is, well, just me as a bunny, I guess.
Now I have to ask, the background is very striking. How did you come up with the idea to stage them on stairs like that?
So I don't remember my exact sort of thoughts going into this. I just remembered that there's sort of like Broadway shows that do similar things to this to present like a grandiose sort of set piece. It's just sort of imagery that I don't know how to explain it. It just looks nice.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Know.
The gradients on the side, like the middle step with the blue fading off into the distance. That's so nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mostly just wanted it to make it look nice while not being too complicated. That's pretty
Alright,
much what I came
so
up with.
next up we got Blue Bow Tie Bunny. What's that from?
Okay, so that one is also another creation. Well, that is actually one of my friends who he portrays himself as a hamster actually, but
Ah,
for Easter, which is around when this was drawn, he had a bunny there, so I just put that on there too.
yeah, that's great. Okay, so up next, this one looks pretty familiar. It kind of reminds me of a Pokemon.
Okay, so this is the last one that's also a creation. This one was between multiple friends actually. So basically, what we did is we draw a lot together, and sometimes we do these little sort of challenge thingies. And this one was we just started with the base of just a pink buddy, and then we just kept adding features back and forth until we just came up with this. So it's just a fun little thing that we put together.
I like the this kind of subtle heart in the skin shading.
Uh, oh, thank you. There's also a sort of design on both the ears and the feet where it kind of looks like socks.
Oh my! You know what? It looks like slippers.
That's actually the character's name is Slippers.
Wow. All right, everyone, be sure to look up slippers next time you log on to Twitter. See what you find.
I think there's only 2 images that exist of this guy, and this is one of them.
Wow. So it's very rare. If I can track it down, I'll be sure to let you know. All right. Next up, we got the little conductor bunny. What's that deal?
So that is I think his name is just Arcade Bunny from Nintendo Badge Arcade. It was sort of a 3DS thing where you could collect badges to put on your home screen. It's just him.
Interesting. I never heard of that. I had a 3DS. I got it on launch day with the ambassador program. You remember that?
Wait, you got a 2DS with the Ambassador program?
No, I got a 3DS on launch day back in freaking
Oh,
2010.
I thought you said 2DS, but
I
yeah,
was I
the
was
Ambassador
11.
program. I got that too.
It was hype. All right,
What?
next up on the second row, we've got a kind of lanky bunny holding. It looks like a gun, maybe.
A gun? Oh,
Not.
are you talking about the one next to the Duracell bunny?
Yeah, it looks like maybe car keys.
Okay, so it kind of looks weird because of the thick outline I put on all of them, but I'm just gonna say one sentence about this bunny. This is the ink bunny. That's it.
All right, next up we got from the Amazing World of Gumball. It's very accurate, I think, to the actual model that they used in the show there.
Oh yeah, things with more simplistic features and an already cartoony style I can usually get down pretty well, so it was fun drawing him too. He has a very interesting sort of design.
It's weird to say that it's realistic, so I'll say that it's faithful.
Yeah, that'd probably be more accurate.
All right, next up we got Ninja Bunny. What's the deal with that
So,
one?
this is an Animal Crossing character. His name is Snake, and I'm pretty sure he's one of the more special, rare villagers, but in the new Animal Crossing, you get 2 predetermined villagers that are always set to a very specific personality because they have to fit the opening dialogue of the game. So I guess he became more common to get at the beginning. And, well, I got him. And he is a pretty cool bunny.
Congrats, all my Animal Crossing villagers are lame. I get
Yeah,
the most
Snake is pretty
basic
cool,
ones.
but he always talks about muscles.
Yeah, one track mind on that guy, huh?
Yep.
All right, next we got a one of the more normal, just basic bunny-looking types on the right there.
Yeah, so at a certain point, it was kind of getting spread thin for popular, well-known pink bunny characters.
Yeah, they
And
really need to step up their game on Hollywood, you know.
But yeah, this one is actually just a generic sort of thing from Super Mario 3D World. You chase them around and they have items that they hold and will give you if you catch them.
I feel like I should remember this. Now I gotta replay 3D World.
Oh yeah, they're even like in the first level of the game, and they
I
appear
remember
pretty
the
often
Mario
too.
64 ones, but they're
Oh,
yellow.
Mips.
Yeah, Mips. Can use them to cheese into the door.
Oh yeah, doing 16-star runs. I remember the first time I used them to glitch through, I was like, "Whoa, I did it!"
Alright, and last but not least, we've got looks like maybe a little bit of a snowman bunny.
So that one is very simply just a Peep, the little marshmallow bunnies that they have around Easter usually.
What's the yellow bit? Is that like wings?
Oh, that was just supposed to be like an action line for it, sort of. I guess since it's in the air, I thought maybe it would be wise to show something like, that it did an action to get up there.
I like imagining those just floating in the air without any
Oh
rhyme or
yeah,
reason.
just woo.
So up next, we got the Yoshi gift that you sent me. Now, what was it like for you when you saw your first Yoshi?
When I saw my first Yoshi,
Yeah, the
I
very first
mean,
one.
it's actually one of my oldest memories that I have playing Super Mario World on the SNES, like in someone else's house. Like I think I was literally like 4 or something when I first did that. But I mean, I don't remember my exact thoughts. I think I just thought, "Whoa, cool dinosaur."
Yeah, Yoshi's design, it's a very interesting design, so I can understand why you make so much fan art of him.
Yeah, I've always liked Yoshi. It's just a cute, fun dinosaur.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I played through Yoshi's story. That's a fun game.
Yeah, I did play through that a lot when I was younger too.
Alright, so next up we got Deltarune's very own Relzy. Is that how it's pronounced?
I don't know how it's officially pronounced actually. I don't think Toby Fox has really weighed in on that. I say Relsay, but might be Relsey. I'm not sure.
Alright, this one, I it kind of has the same sort of gradient look as the first picture for the background, which I really like. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's a pretty common trick that I use because I am pretty garbage at doing backgrounds, so I just do these simplistic ones.
Yeah, so this one, it's got a circular shadow, and the first one has kind of custom, sort of tailor-made shadows. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it really just depends on how much work I want to do.
Yeah, you can definitely tell both of these, very, like the shading too, especially. You really got the shading down on Rousey.
Oh, thank you.
And I like the eyes. I like how they're the little half moon eyes.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that
just
one came
noticed there's
out a
a.
lot better than I thought it would because it was mostly just going to be a quick doodle, but then I really liked how it was shaped, so I just touched it up more.
For a second, I thought there was a really faint moon in the top bit of it, but that was just your profile picture on Discord.
Oh.
But it does look cool, so maybe add that officially once you watch the podcast back. Alright, next up we got, this looks like maybe Club Penguin reference.
Okay, so this was also mostly just a doodle. That's probably why it looks a little bit more simplistic, but
Yeah, he's got butter
this
feet.
is. Oh, yeah, they're basically just blocks of butter.
Ah, I'm
But.
melting!
Hmm? Oh, no.
He'd slide around.
Oh, no. Just him pretending to ice skate, but it's just his feet melting.
I can see in Mario Galaxy like B Mario trying to skate.
Oh dear.
All right, so
But yeah.
that one's
Hmm?
pretty cool. I like the hat and how it has a miniature version of himself. A little bit
Oh
narcissistic, but
yeah.
he can get
This
away with it. He's too
is
cute.
kind of one of my babies in a way. Like,
Yeah.
not actual baby, but in the way that I also created this. But this is like a completely original thing. Like, with no former sort of. Basically, with other stuff, like when I draw like Yoshis and whatever, like, they're Yoshis, they're Nintendo's thing. But
Yeah.
this is just a penguin with features that I completely designed, so it's sort of dear to me, I guess.
Yeah, it's a nice one. Alright, up next, this definitely looks like OC. It's got kind of the, what's that one Pokemon with, like, the yellow stripes?
Oh yeah, this one, so this is the human, right, that you pulled up?
Ew, humans.
Yeah, ew, gross. So this one is also pretty interesting for a few reasons. So that's actually an Umbreon hoodie that that character is wearing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it seems familiar.
Yeah. And this is actually myself in the style of Knuckle Sandwich, a game that's coming out probably sometime this year.
Yeah, it's interesting. I like the hairstyle. It's kind of flowy and then it poofs up at the end.
Oh yeah, I do have pretty long, sort of curly hair, so I tried to find a way to portray that well, and well, that's what I came up with.
I gotta send you a picture of my quarantine hair. It's terrible. It's super long.
Whoa.
Alright, next up, this is a very famous rabbit. The
Oh
late
yeah,
rabbit from Alice in Wonderland.
yes, Disney's Alice in Wonderland is that particular design, and I was on a sort of Alice in Wonderland kick. Like, I just rewatched the movie, and I'm just sort of infatuated with some of the visuals in that.
Are you talking about the original or the Johnny Depp version?
The original one from like, what was it, like the 40s or 50s that movie was made? Something like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, but I know I saw it like as a kid once.
It is very strange, but the animation is really good.
Yeah, I remember. Is that the one where like the eyes do like the dizzy thing, where they have the spirals in them?
I think you might be talking about the Cheshire Cat,
Oh
where he
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of weird animation involving him too. Like his form sort of unravels sometimes when he's disappearing.
I remember playing through Kingdom Hearts and I saw the Cheshire Cat, and it would always show up in some random spot.
Yeah, that's what he does. He sort of just screws with people.
Alright, I'm just scrolling through because there are quite a bit of images. Let's talk about let's see. So far we talked about your art. Um what about games? What are some of your favorite games to play?
So, first and foremost, I'm a lot more fond of like retro games or just older games in general. Not really for, well, I do like their aesthetic. I just sort of have a lot of nostalgia for those old chunky polygons and pixels.
Old
But
games
also,
definitely have a
hmm?
different design philosophy. If you play through like an older Mario versus a new Mario, it's totally different.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the core tenets are there, but I think older games, since they were so much more limited, they really tried to make the best of what they have. With newer games, though, like, they sort of do that, but I feel like they don't explore their own mechanics as much as they reasonably should.
Sunshine, it had so many mechanics. It had all the different gadgets. It had Flood. It had all the different jumps that you can do. And then in Odyssey, they added, hat jumps and all this stuff, but it doesn't feel as fleshed out despite having so much more. Do you know what I mean?
Odyssey is a really interesting case because they actually do really stretch their mechanics in the bonus levels that you get after unlocking, like, the stuff that you do after beating the game. But it has a pretty big flaw in the way that it makes itself feel a lot less grand than previous titles. Because in previous titles, each star or shine sprite or whatever was entirely built around a certain objective. Like, they created these sort of little stories within each level for each shine or star, except for like the coin star and the red coins or whatever. Like, those are just filler in my opinion. But in Odyssey, they're just sort of there a lot of the time. Like, you have the main story, but then you just have a bunch of random filler moons.
Have you seen the Joseph Anderson video?
No, I have not.
He breaks down mathematically, like, these moons are filler moons, these moons are. He goes really in depth, it's like a couple hours.
Oh yeah, I could imagine that people have some pretty strong opinions on how that game is designed. I hear people say it's not as much of a Mario game as it is a Banjo-Kazooie type collectathon. I think that is kind of accurate to say.
Yeah, I just wish there was more stuff that you could do with, the collectibles.
Yeah, it's just get hats and outfits. Which is pretty cool for a Mario game, but like, eh.
Yeah, it doesn't seem substantial. And then
It's
Mario,
still a pretty good game.
and then Zelda Breath of the Wild is so huge and so beautiful. And there's only like 5 different enemies.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, but you know that game actually only had a budget of 20 million?
Wow, yeah, that's like less than my lunch.
I mean, these days, I'm pretty sure that's like
Yeah,
not that
that's not
much for
much
such
for
a
like
huge game.
a freaking Zelda game. It's ginormous.
Yeah.
But it has some striking moments.
Yeah, that's one of the, like, how do I explain this? Sometimes I feel instant nostalgia for a game, even though it's brand new. I got that with Undertale, I got that with Breath of the Wild. There's just something that's like so fresh and different about certain games, but at the same time, familiar.
Undertale, I have to say, the writing style is like my exact sense of humor. So that was like my
Well,
favorite game that released that year.
oh yeah, it's funny, with Undertale, I had no idea that that game existed until after it came out. And then my friend, like, gifted it to me through Steam. He was like, hey, this game, I've heard a lot of good things about it. You should play it. And I'm like, yeah, all right. And when I first played it, I was like, this is kind of cool, but like, what is this? And then eventually, slowly came to understand that it is a very interesting game in concept in general.
I watched, I think, Donkey's video on it before I played it, and that spoiled a lot of stuff for me. But when I played it, it's so different than watching someone play.
Oh yeah, it is very different.
It's a game that you have to play.
Oh yeah, Undertale is like, if you haven't played it, go do it.
Yeah, everyone in chat, just click off the video. Go play Undertale. So what were your thoughts on Deltarune when it came out? It was a little bit of a departure.
So, that was really interesting because I think that's another thing that I didn't quite know it was coming out until like, I forgot when Toby said that something was like coming on Halloween. But for anyone that wasn't there, he kept posting cryptic messages like every 5 or 10 minutes for the last like 2 hours leading up to the release of the game. And then when everyone downloaded it, they're just like, holy crap, it's Undertale 2. And it was completely free, and it just came out of nowhere. And, well, it was really exciting to play. My thoughts in general about the game itself is also really great game. It's a lot different. It leaves a lot of mysteries, but it also has a pretty fun little, relatively simple story as you go along.
I have to say, for me, Undertale, the ending is very difficult. There's a secret where if you dodge all the names in the credits, you get like a secret room to go in. And
Oh, yeah.
I feel like playing that made me better at, bullet hells and games in general. And then when I played Deltarune, there was a moment where I was fighting the secret boss, Jevil, and I beat him on the first try. I was like,
Oh,
whoa,
wow.
Undertale has prepared me.
Did you genocide in Undertale at any point?
No, I can't bring myself to do that to my boy Sans.
Yeah, same here.
Did you go pacifist your first run?
So, I played the game not knowing anything about it when I first played it.
Yeah,
So I
me
ended
too.
up basically doing a neutral run. And I didn't understand until about halfway through my first playthrough that there were consequences for playing the game like you would any other like typical RPG type game. I think it was Undyne's like brutal sort of death that really spoke to me about how this game is so much different than any other game.
Undine's death is super dramatic. Because she's like, I will not surrender.
Yeah, and she freaking melts.
Yeah, like line by line. That freaked me out. I only killed 2 monsters, and that was Toriel and Undine. Because I didn't know that you could spare Toriel.
Yeah, the game has a lot of things it's prepared for you if you happen to try and redo certain things.
Yeah, I remember watching the YouTube, like, all dialogue for the different endings and stuff.
Yeah, there's a specific example that a lot of players encountered on their first playthroughs, which was if you end up like killing Toriel and then you reload your save and then end up sparing her.
And then Flowey goes like,
yeah,
you came
I
back!
know what you did.
Man,
Oh my
Flowey's so
goodness.
overdramatic. So, a lot of your characters, some of them, they are very much chonkers. How do
Yes.
you decide, today I'm gonna draw a chonker, today I'm gonna draw whatever,
Well, there's a couple sort of reasons behind that. One of them is due to the whole toony art style. I sort of learned to draw mostly with pretty simplistic round shapes, and that just sort of easily lends itself to that sort of figure.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, I guess for me personally, it's visually appealing.
Yeah, I get it. Have you made any internet friends through your art?
Oh yeah, quite a few actually. And most of them are pretty good. I haven't really had many people that just like, weren't good people that just wanted free art.
Yeah. I hear a lot of horror stories from for exposure on Twitter and stuff.
I have been lucky to not really run into crazy people, except once, but it was mostly just a general, like, troll cyberbully type person.
Yeah, you gotta just accept Stu for who he is, right? No, I'm kidding. Stu White's great. Do you know John the Yoshi?
John the Yoshi?
Yeah.
I can't say I do.
He's a homie. He likes drawing stuff too. I was just wondering if you knew.
He likes what?
He likes the Yoshis. He's a
Oh,
Yoshi.
yeah.
So some of your drawings, this blue lizard Pokemon in particular,
Yeah.
your Pokemon drawings are very faithful to the originals.
Well, yeah, I try to be sometimes.
Do you like drawing things that are already created, or your OCs more?
I like drawing both. It's easier to work off of a reference. So I guess a lot of the time I do end up drawing creatures that already exist. But then again, most creatures are already like an amalgamation of things that already exist. So, yeah, I like drawing both.
I remember in middle school, the first time I ever remember drawing anything, there was a book that would show how to draw a spider step by step,
hmm
and I think that was the first thing I ever learned to draw was a spider, and then just making little tweaks to it and making it your own.
Yeah, that's always pretty fun to do.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like the most about drawing and looking at other people's drawings.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, you have complete freedom to do whatever you want putting on the page, which is probably the best thing about it.
Yeah, if you want to go out there and draw a bunch of bunnies on steps, you can go do that. Like Cubert.
Oh, yeah. It is kind of Cubert-esque, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for meeting with me, GyRo. I'd say this was a pretty good podcast.
Yeah, it was nice talking.
Alright, be sure to follow GyRoEsEhNi on Twitter. And would you like to tell the audience what your name is a reference to?
So basically, it's two words intertwined. I don't know if you have like a visual for how it's actually spelled, but if you take each second letter, it spells out green, and then the other set is Yoshi.
Green Yoshi, everyone.
Yeah.
You gotta unscramble it. That blew my mind when I first saw that.
It's actually an old trend on, well, certain websites. Like, people were running out of usernames, so they would just do this, where they sort of just mash two words together like that. And it just stuck.
How have people tried to pronounce it before?
Most people do say GyRoEsEhNi. They try to take the most literal interpretation of it. Some people just call me GyRo, which I'm cool with. Some people just call me, like, Yoshi or whatever. But, yeah, it's mostly those.
Well, GyRo, thanks for coming on the podcast. It's been a lot of fun. I'll be sure to post your Twitter in the description. Be advised, some of your art is a little bit not safe for work, guys.
Yeah. He's been mostly showing the clean stuff here. There's a lot I can't show. But then again, I try to avoid posting lewd things on my Twitter, so you probably won't actually see much there besides just fat things at the very most.
Well, alright, I think that's been it. Thanks for watching.
Right, and thanks for having me.